started. First, I want to thank everybody for being here. And I will try not to be too emotional today, but I don't promise. It means a lot for everybody to be here. And the first thing that we're going to do is play Dad's favorite song, Claire de Lune, and have a few minutes to reflect. Table are many different things that represent Dad's life that I want to talk about. And first of all, his high school graduation picture. He grew up in Missouri Valley, Iowa, and graduated from high school there, and then went into the military. And he he was in the Army and was stationed in Germany, loved the time in Germany, really treasured that experience that he had there. And then after he came back, and he graduated from University of Nebraska at Omaha, and got his degree from there and worked several different jobs. And then he went into sales, and he started traveling and traveled extensively really through his whole career. And later, with other jobs, he actually traveled the world and was in many places. I remember one time he was on an island when a typhoon was going to hit. I was a nervous wreck. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, he had so many really awesome experiences. And the thing about Dad, I mean, he just made friends wherever he went to, and he knew people all over the world, which was pretty cool. I mean, he'd talk about some experience drinking in a pub in Ireland with somebody and met someone famous, and then he'd be talking about something in Thailand or other places where he had been. So, really some very interesting things. He also traveled with my mom. They traveled for pleasure, but also traveled for her cake decorating business, and went to South Africa, and she was a part of doing some things with her cake decorating down there, and just really all over the world. And so they really got to do some neat things, got to go swimming and snorkeling at the Great Barrier Reef, and he really did so many cool things in his life. So, and I kind of have some things, they're not really in order, so we'll just kind of switch some things around here. But this picture of all of his grandkids sat on his desk always for many, many years. He always had that out. He just adored all of his grandchildren, and he would always talk about them and call them, and was very close to all of the grandkids. So one of the things that we have up here is a letter that he wrote for Christy, his first grandchild, before she was even born, before we even knew if it was going to be a boy or a girl. And Larry's going to read an excerpt from that letter for Christy.
Life can be a real joy if you live it in a manner you can be proud of in your own heart. Always live with your conscience. Mankind is born with an innate sense of right and wrong. Always try to do what is right. If you make that effort, then you can live in peace with your conscience. I am thrilled that you will have the opportunity to have a life and to have all the experiences that make living worthwhile. To learn and to grow, to fall in love and marry, to work and achieve, to do good and be respected, to have children of your own.
And now Patty, my sister Patty, is going to come up and say a few words.
My dad, he was a kind and gentle soul with a great sense of humor for any of you that truly got to see that side of him. I have so many fond memories of him. Like every year at Halloween, he loved sitting on the front porch to hand out candy to all the neighborhood kids. He loved that. And that was like one of the first places my kids always wanted to run to, was Papa's house. What I'm going to talk about today is a time when I moved back to Dallas as a single parent. I had a 3-month-old and a 4.5-year-old, and we lived with him for 2 years. And during that time, he really became a father figure to them, more so than a grandfather. He's just that type of person who would step up into that role. We eventually even bought a house on the same street, about 5 houses down from him. And sometimes he would call me and say, "Hey, who's over at your house?" He'd see a car. But we loved being that close. because it basically, he was present in our lives each and every day, and I love that. He would pick up the girls from school. He attended grandparent breakfasts. He went to all the sporting events, and there were quite a few of those. He went to their plays, concerts, art exhibits, talent shows, pretty much every school event, he was there. He especially enjoyed taking Megan to her Girl Scout father-daughter dances because he stepped in on that. My ex-husband lived in Arizona, so he wasn't able to be there for those things, and Papa loved taking that role. He fondly talks about the times that they got to go to those. He formed such a close bond with both my daughters. I was very thankful that they were able to visit from California a few weeks ago and see him. I know they really wanted to be here today, but they just couldn't wait. One of my dad's most prized possessions that he kept for 20 years is a poem that my youngest daughter Megan wrote for him when she was 12 years old. He always encouraged her to explore her natural creative side, and I really love that about him. So I'm going to read that poem for you today, which speaks to how truly he's loved. The title of the poem is What About Me? You write off, but some don't care. Some can't manage a passing stare. Some can't tell what you mean. You can't tell, even at the scene, that I do. You can't care what I think. You don't know that you're my link. You can't see what I see. You don't know what you mean to me. You don't know what's on the inside. You can't tell. It's like you're trying to hide. I don't know if you're really this smart. All I know is I love you from my heart. And
One of the favorite times in Dad's life was when he was a ranger on the Blue Ridge Parkway at Peaks of Otter, Virginia. Loved it that time, and this was his hat. I recently got him this pen that I found that said National Park Geek because I think that describes him really well. He had been to so many national parks and just loved them all very much. One of the things that he has done is he did a lot of writing. These two books are full of short stories and poems that he has written. And I'm going to read one of the poems because it's about the Blue Ridge Parkway. And I know that this was something that actually occurred while he was up there working on Johnson Farm as a ranger. The beauty of the forest. The mountain is quiet. The wind is calm. The leaves on the trees are not moving. It is a beautiful autumn day. The leaves are an assortment of colors. The dominant color is gold, but with some scarlet. I am mesmerized by the beauty. Suddenly, a crashing from the forest. A bear emerges from the forest and looks around. He sees me. I see him. He is 20 yards away and watching. I dare not run. I slowly back away, watching him. The bear stays still and watches. Suddenly, the bear turns and runs back into the forest. His curiosity was satisfied. He decided I wasn't dinner. I went back to the beauty of the trees. What a magnificent way to spend a day. So I thought that was such a well-written poem too. But one thing that I do love that I will mention, all of his short stories always ended with life is good. That was the last line. So, let's see. Another thing that Dad had a great interest in was Native American history. This statue sat on his dresser, and it's called The End of the Trail. I thought it was very appropriate to have it here, but he always felt very close to Native Americans and really studied a lot about it and knew a tremendous amount, so wanted to bring that up as well. You see a jar of jelly beans there. My dad had quite a sweet tooth, I will tell you. I can't tell you how many jelly beans we've all bought for him over the years. I know Patty's bought a lot, Larry bought some even recently, and so I had to put the jelly beans, but it didn't matter whether it was cookies or cakes or candy or whatever, he loved it, and I know where I got my sweet tooth from, so I'm blaming him because he really had one. The last few years, since he came to Overland Park, he set up for half the garage with woodworking, and had brought a lot with him, but also purchased a lot of equipment too that he used for woodworking, and he really loved it. He made furniture, all kinds of furniture. I have a bookshelf that I love that he made. We have tables. He shared it with many of us and given us different tables and things. He also made holiday decorations, a snowman for the front yard, a wooden one, and a Frankenstein at Halloween, and all different things. He made us shadow boxes, and he would do frames for pictures. Like Chloe recently painted a picture, and he framed it and put it up in his bedroom and built the frame. And he loved doing the woodworking. But the one thing that was kind of fun is Dad would take scrap wood and make what he called garage art. And he would hang it on the wall, and he would label each one with the name. And the name of this one was Zoom Zoom. So he had that one. The other names are Big Red Eye, Board Game, Chaos, Razzle Dazzle, and Looking Out, which had a picture painted by Chloe in it, so it looked like you were looking out through a window and looking at the mountains, and she painted some mountains for him. So he really loved that. We have one on the patio called Manhattan that's really interesting. If anyone would like it, they're welcome to have it. Because it's kind of, but he had fun and really liked doing that. So, and I put this sign down here because he always liked it, and I think that's how he lived his life. Was life journey is not to arrive safely at the grave in a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, totally worn out, shouting, woohoo, what a ride. That was Dad. So, anyway, sorry. Ashton's going to come up and read a poem now for us. So, Ashton? Yeah, talk loud so they can hear you.
A prayer for my great-grandpa. God, please bless my great-grandpa, whom I love with all my heart. I've known him now for many years. He's known me from the start. He's always taken time with me, and he's never in a rush. So God, please bless my great-grandpa, whom I love so very much.
Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you. Okay. And did anyone else want to say anything today?
Me.
What would you like to say?
I was dear old Papa, I love you.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that. In case you couldn't hear, he said, "Dear old Papa, I love you." Okay, thank you, sweetie. Appreciate that.
That was very much, Jackson.
All right, well, thank you so much again. All of you have made this day very special, so thank you. And we have snacks and sandwiches and things back here, so please help yourself and have some food with us.
Come up here.